Hello, and welcome to the Small Business Tax Savings Podcast, powered by JETRO and Associates. Get ready for another action-packed episode from our team that will help you save time, taxes, and keep more money in your pocket.
Hello and welcome back, small business owners, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Small Business Tax Savings Podcast. My name is Mike Jesowshek. I am a CPA and founder over at JETRO. Today's topic is about the importance of bookkeeping. If you are a small business owner entering tax season at a little stress, there are likely many factors playing into that stress. One popular one we see is bookkeeping records that are not updated, or maybe they're a mess and you just are trying to untangle them. You can help alleviate this stress by keeping up with your bookkeeping and reviewing your work on a regular basis. All too often, we see clients sit down and spend hours upon hours of rushing together books in late February or early March. First, most of that information is so dated that they do not even remember what the transactions were related to. And second, a rush job really never leads to anything good. The act of bookkeeping can be useful for many different purposes, more than just tax season. It is important that you complete bookkeeping on at least a monthly basis. I'm going to be talking about a few of the benefits that you can get from doing your bookkeeping on a regular monthly routine. First, you get accurate reporting that help you make financial decisions within your business. Second, that accurate reporting can also be used to calculate estimated taxes, so you have an idea of what your tax liability will be at year end. You can take that information from the bookkeeping and analyze where you might be spending too much or where you might be spending not enough. You can also use the information to help forecast and project the future. Another item as far as tax season is you can get the 1099s filed on time with no stress. So by having that bookkeeping up to date, you have all your 1099 information so that when the year end hits, you're not scrambling to gather that information. And you can also get your tax return filed on time with no stress, because during tax season, a lot of that stress is just getting those books cleaned up or completed. If you have it done already, it alleviates a good portion of that tax stress. So these are just some of the benefits to having an up-to-date and accurate bookkeeping system. Oftentimes, we see that tax season anxiety is because of the unknown. Clients don't know how much in tax they will or will not have to pay. In our firm, our clients have bookkeeping up to date. So what that allows them to do is allows us to calculate estimated tax for them throughout the year. So every quarter, our clients know what tax is owed up to that point based on their business activity. We are also able to take that accurate data and do in-depth tax planning because we know what position they are in. With accurate financials throughout the year, we are able to not only reduce the tax stress because we know what the tax what tax might be owed, we have the bookkeeping completed, but we actually reduce tax liability as well because we're able to proactively plan instead of just preparing and filing at year end with really no tax planning in sight. It's just preparing that return and filing it. So with that whole bookkeeping topic, I want to leave you today with a couple key bookkeeping tips that can help you get your bookkeeping on record. If you already have it all done and completed, great. If you're scrambling right now, these are things that you can do now to ensure that you do not have to go through another stress or an anxiety-infused season like this next year. Tip number 1, complete your bookkeeping at least monthly. Now, I continue to stress this. Do regular bookkeeping, monthly at a minimum. Tip number 2, utilize a cloud technology software. There are a lot of great options out there. Just so on our end, we prefer a software called JETRO. It's spelled XERO. We find that this specific software is the most intuitive and user-friendly one on the market, especially for those that may not be accountants. However, whichever software you decide to use, just be sure to use something. Keep something in an online cloud software. It allows for easy integration with your accountant. It allows you to grab and connect to your bank feed so you can download transactions without as much heavy lifting on your end. Tip number 3, make sure you have a separate bank account. It might be easy on the front end to just pay for everything out of your personal account and then figure it out later. However, this can be really sloppy and cause a lot of confusion and possible misreporting down the road. So just make it a point to not commingle personal and business expenses, in one account. Tip number 4, cut the paper and the cash when available. And the paper part is there's really no reason to hold on to paper receipts for years when you can simply take a picture of it and upload it online for storage. So there's softwares out there like HubDoc or Receipt Bank that allow you to upload receipts directly into your accounting software. Otherwise, you can also use something as simple as Google Drive or Dropbox. So when I say cut the paper, I'm not saying don't keep receipts, don't mark receipts. I'm just saying you can utilize, instead of keeping paper documents all across everywhere and never being able to find them, you can utilize some cloud technology to upload those paper receipts online so you don't have to keep them a physical copy on. So just take a picture and upload it to either a software or a Google Drive or Dropbox. And finally, when you're running a business, you want to make sure that you have everything documented with a trail. This helps in the event of an IRS audit. You can trace everything that's going on. And for that reason, we often tell our clients to avoid cash transactions when possible. Cash is really hard to track and can lead to a lot of questions if you were to get audited by the IRS, especially if you're paying for things with cash. So in the rare event that cash is your only payment option, just be sure to get a receipt so that you can properly document that business expense and have some supporting documentation for it. And finally, tip number 5, utilize the information from this bookkeeping. Once you're starting to do it regularly in the cloud on a regular basis and it's accurate, utilize this information now with the new robust bookkeeping system you have to plan for future expenses, to plan for future revenue, to plan for taxes. So take this information, look back, use it to help grow your business, to help analyze where your business is going, and make it a key part of the decision-making that you do, because that's essentially what bookkeeping software is meant for. Number one reason, tax purposes. You can't file a tax return without any bookkeeping completed. That's number one, though. There's so much more that bookkeeping brings you outside of just tax filings. So again, take those tips, utilize this bookkeeping, make a bookkeeping a point of something, especially coming down here in 2019, that you want to take seriously, that you want to make sure is done correctly, accurately, and on time so you can make it a big point in your business. That's all I have today. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. We will continue to touch on important items during tax season in the coming weeks. If you enjoy our weekly episodes, please leave a review on whatever platform you listen to us and share with other business owners. If there's a topic that you want us to touch on, shoot me an email. I'm more than happy to talk about certain topics that I know have interest with our listeners. We also have a Facebook group that I would love connecting with you in. To join our Facebook group, simply search in the Facebook search bar, Small Business Tax Savings, and then it'll show up as a group that you can join. I look forward to seeing you in there and continuing this discussion of how you can be more successful in your business, how you can save on taxes. Again, thanks for tuning in for another episode. I will see you on next week.
This has been another episode of the Small Business Tax Savings Podcast from the team at JETRO and Associates. If you have any questions, feel free to email them. tax@jetrotax.com. We have packages for small business owners starting at just $75 a month. If you enjoyed our podcast, please take the time out to give us a 5-star review in iTunes or wherever you listen. This helps us to bring you useful tips to help you grow your small business. Thanks for listening and have a great day.